So I am a clinical psychologist. I've been a psychologist for more than 15 years. And I am reasonably new to San Diego and relaunched everything once I came here. So I have one business that's called Mindshift Psychological Services, which is teen therapy. So it's for teenagers, their families, and college age students. And then I have the other arm of my business, which is Elevate Her. And that's really about helping women leaders flourish in business and life, and really looking at all the obstacles and the things that get in the way and helping to move those things out of the way so our wonderful leaders can flourish and take off, basically.
I love that. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you are from? Where did you prior?
I was born in London, England.
Awesome.
And then I lived in many different places when I was a child. And then I moved to the United States when I was 18. And I've been here now, you can do the math, for 29 years. And it's been amazing. So I lived in South Florida when I first came here, went to Florida International University. Woohoo!
Love it.
Yeah, it was a very small university back then, and it's much more prominent school nowadays.
Okay.
And then I moved to Washington, D.C. and did my doctorate in psychology at George Washington University.
Awesome.
And lived in D.C. for 19 years, and then got an itching that I really wanted to be closer to the ocean, have a more sort of laid-back, community-oriented, connected life, and San Diego was just calling my name. And so I moved here, and it's been amazing.
You made a good choice.
Yeah, I made an amazing choice. It's beautiful every single day. People are amazing and warm and friendly, and my daughter's loving it here.
Awesome. So let's first talk about your business working with teens, because that is such a critical conversation that we're having right now. What are you seeing in the market with your business and some of the challenges that folks are having right now?
Sure. So adolescence is generally a really tough time, right? I mean, and all of us have been teenagers once, so we know how challenging it is. I think what I find interesting often is that as parents, we forget what it was like for us to be teenagers, and then we think that our kids, adolescence should be different, but it isn't, we have societies different now, so we have technology, and that creates new issues. We have cyber issues, cyberbullying. My daughter is 9 and she wants a YouTube channel. And so these are things that we're having to grapple with as parents that we didn't have to, or our parents didn't have to when we were kids, right? So, but what I find with a lot of teenagers is parents not really being sure between the difference between moodiness, which is often a facet of being an adolescent, and depression and anxiety, which is really a serious issue. And suicidal ideation in adolescence is such a big problem, and we really need to address it. So I often advise parents, if you have any concern whatsoever, to reach out and talk to somebody, because not doing so could mean life or death, and it's not something to play with. And that is what I see a lot of. And it's not a cultural thing. It's not a socioeconomic issue. Even in families, more affluent families in areas like where we are here, you see so many children so stressed out, overscheduled, and not being able to manage all of that, not having the social skills and the organizational skills to be able to deal with that. And so, the coping is just really, really difficult. And so that's what I do, is sort of going in, giving the kids some coping skills and providing an ear for them, someone that they can just talk to. And, kids either love me or they hate me because I'm super direct. and that's one of the things that they appreciate. And I listen really carefully. And then I help parents to understand their kids' point of view and to maybe take a step back and give their kids, some room. The other issue I find a lot of challenges with is giving kids independence. As parents, we want so much to protect them, but if you don't teach kids how to think for themselves, and then you send them out there into the magical world of college or of anywhere else, if they don't know how to think for themselves and to trust in their judgment and to problem solve, they're going to be in danger. And it's really scary what they end up doing for themselves and just not making really good decisions because they just don't know how. And that really worries me.
I've heard some of my friends who have children say that they see other parents, they themselves of course aren't doing
Never
this,
do that.
but they see other parents almost, it's like keeping up with the Joneses, but it's not the new car, it's the my child got into XYZ, or it's almost showboating more of the parents than the children.
Yeah.
Do you see this in your practice?
So yes, again, I think it gives us another foray into how to do that, right?
Yeah.
So people have always done that. So, we had closer communities.
But now it's like on
public.
the internet, right?
It's global. The whole world gets to see all the stuff that you're doing.
Yeah.
But it's those same feelings of comparison and competition are the same feelings that have happened for generations. We just now have another medium for which to do it, and it's super public, and there's so much pressure. And what that does is, and again, it fills my practice because these kids are so pressured into doing all of these different things. And again, it's a fine line. So with my daughter, it's like, okay, so what do you want to do? And so, for her, she's pretty well scheduled, at least right now. But those are the things that she said that she wants to do, and that's what you want to do, that's fine. But I also think that there has to be room for kids to just be kids and to just play and to have fun and those sorts of things. But yes, social media gives us another opportunity to showboat and to flaunt around like a peacock, which isn't helpful.
No, definitely not. I also want to touch on your other business, Elevate Her.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about what you do, who you serve, all that good stuff.
So it's really interesting. So when I originally started my practice 7 years ago in Virginia and DC, my focus was children. And then it was really interesting because in a very short period of time, the majority of people who came into my business and in my practice were adult women. And I didn't advertise that. My business had a kid's name, and that was the number one question: do you work with adults? And so that's how it started. And then the more I, as an entrepreneur, found myself in circles of women working in their business and seeing how there's feeling unfulfilled, the wearing of a mask, feeling like you have to be superwoman and you have to do everything for everybody, and that self-sabotage, sort of knowing that there's all these amazing things that you want to do, but yet you're stopping yourself. And if only we could just move some of those things out of the way, what you could possibly be doing would be amazing. And so just wanting to be a part of the solution, really helping women to move those things out of the way, because there's so much more that we can do. And I think together, as we lift each other up, the world changes, right? And so it's a desire to be a part of the solution rather than looking at the problem.